Hey FlossTube friends, this is Tina Frazier coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Today is Saturday, February 3rd at approximately 5:15 p.m. Eastern Time, coming to you today with a FlossTube update. It's been a hot minute since I've stopped in to say hi and see everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I am doing okay. Just trying to get through the first month of work and the first month of 2024 and just trying to get back into life and just generally, try and stay healthy and get into the new year. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. It's always nice to meet new friends, and you're no exception. So hopefully you'll find something here on my channel that will enable you to start a new craft, or to try something new, or to at least get your stitching out, or just, have something to watch while you're doing some other stuff or listen to. And hopefully you'll want to come back and like this enough that, you'll consider becoming a subscriber. If you're a returning watcher, thank you very much. Thank you for stopping back by. It's always great time to spend time with friends, and also just to see you and say hi and, enjoy something together that we have in common. So thank you very much for coming back. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much. I always like to spend time here on YouTube with good friends, and you're no exception. So if you have not yet subscribed, I encourage you to do so. And also click the notification bell if you're interested in other content that I might release in the coming year. I'm hoping to do these about every other week or so, give or take. This time it's been kind of a month since I last recorded a cross-stitching update. You might have seen my 3 whip parade videos that I did the beginning of January. It has been kind of a long month. I got some stitching done actually this month, and I have some numbers and stuff to go over with you. But anyway, this is my channel where I talk mostly about cross-stitch. I also talk about other crafts that I like to do, like diamond painting, punch needle, melty beads, which are perler beads. I have been dabbling into that this last year, trying to make some needle minders and stuff like that for cross-stitching, and just some other things that I have in mind. I also include some life updates. I'll have a couple of small life updates here for you, and also to just talk about things that I really like in general, like, ghost hunting and sports and cats and just roller derby and, stuff like that in general. So thank you very much for stopping by. This video might be a little bit on the longish side because I do have a lot to update you on. And my cat Harvey is trying to get up on our cat tree. We have a new cat tree that's right here next to me. When I work from home on Thursdays and Fridays, I used to have one little perch that the cats could sit on, and we have 4 cats. And, well, Harvey is trying to, let me see if I can turn this down, and so you can, there's Harvey. Hi, Harves. Hi, Harvey. She's our fluffy cat. Super fluffy. But anyway, she just wants to, she's just trying to say hi. What? No, I'm busy. Hello. But here she is again. Let me turn this down. Hi, Harves. This is Harvey. Yeah, it's Harvey. Hi, Harves. She's got whiskers for days. She is one of our older cats. We have 2 older cats that are sisters from the same litter. Harvey is one of them, and as you can see, come here. She's got a half orange, half black face. Her name is Harvey Dent, Harvident. Harvey Dent, like Two-Face. Anyway, let me get this set back up. All right. Hold on just a minute. Sorry about updating. There we go. I think that's pretty good. All right. But anyway, this video is going to be, it's going to include a little bit of life updates, some haul, some stuff I'm into, and I'm going to be doing a short 2023 wrap-up because I finally have all my numbers compiled. I meant to do that for 2022 last year, but in the midst of going over some of my stuff before I did that last year, I realized that all my counting and numbers and everything weren't matching up. So some of the stuff that's over here on my scanner has been sitting there for quite a while, waiting for me to go through it. Like this red book here is my 2022 planner, and some of these pages are these are planner pages for 2023, but the stack right next to them over here has my 2022 numbers and information, stitching information. What? Are you just trying to tell them that you want to say hi again? No? Okay. Yeah, she wants attention. Mommy's sitting at her desk. It's time to do attentions. All right. Anyway, I'm going to have to go through at some point and redo the 2022 counts and everything like that. I don't know if I'll give you those numbers, but I do have my 2023 numbers. I'm going to go over January stats and talk about progress in January because a lot went on. Harvey. And then I'm going to kind of go through some February plans and whatnot. So it's going to be kind of an interesting year so far. I'm hoping to have a very productive year. I think I had a pretty productive January, but we shall get into it. So the first little bit, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some life stuff. So yeah, 2024 kicked off with a bang. Work seems to be going okay. Work for a big bank, big international bank, and just, still working from home 2 days a week and in the office 3 days a week. They're doing a lot of construction at our physical location. They're renovating the main building. So our department has been in a separate little kind of half off-site, different part of the parking area building that our company also either owns or leases. And we've been in there since September when they pulled everybody off our floor to renovate our entire wing of our original building. They haven't done a dang thing on our floor. And the cafeteria that closed down last May is slated to open back up hopefully this month. It's February. So hopefully the cafeteria in the main building will open back up this month. So we're kind of excited about that. They completely redid the cafeteria, made it all electric. It used to have gas lines and everything for the, the stoves and the cooking appliances and all that. But they went to all electric. And it was supposed to open up like November, December last year, but due to some permit issues and all that, they had a delay. They actually didn't get started on the cafeteria until November, December. So sorry about that, but the camera froze, and I had to go back and figure out where I left off in my story about the cafeteria. So they actually didn't get started on the cafeteria until November, December, as I was in the process of saying. And hopefully they're going to be finished up with it towards the end of this month. So we're looking forward to having a new cafeteria experience at work, and that should be fun. It's been kind of cold and rainy here in Columbus. We had some actual negative wind chills a week or so ago. It was really cold, like, 10, 15 degrees outside with negative wind chills. So we've had a little blast of winter here, but it's kind of in the 40s and 50s here right now, kind of an early spring feel to it. I think it's supposed to get a little colder this next week. We haven't had much in the way of snow, but we have had quite a bit of rain. So it's been kind of an interesting beginning of winter here in Ohio. It has been kind of rather warm. Not much else is going on. I have a couple of new things for what I'm all into. If you ever watch The Kitten Stitcher, Teresa Vanette, here on YouTube, she does this thing, or she used to do this thing on her videos, is what she was all into this week. And I have a couple of new things that I have started in the last couple of weeks that I'm really, really excited about. So you've seen me on my videos drinking those Dunkin' iced coffees in the bottles. Well, my husband and I were kind of talking, and he mentioned that the Keurig, he brought home a Keurig coffee maker from work, and it has it was free. Somebody had donated it and recycled it, and he brought it home and it worked pretty good. And so we've been using that Keurig for about a year now. And we bought the My K-Cup refillable Keurig cup thing that you can put in it because I have a lot of ground coffee. And this would allow me to make a cup of coffee without having to French press the coffee and, all that stuff, and make it kind of quicker. So we were doing that. The Keurig coffee maker was free, but it had started to flake out a little bit. And we noticed that, it's an older style Keurig, and it only had the one button. You only could brew in it, and you had to pour, every time you wanted a cup of coffee, you had to pour the cup of water into the top of it. It didn't have a reservoir to store water anyway. So about 2 weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago, we were talking, and we decided, my husband's like, well, they have these Keurig iced machines that make iced coffee. And he's like, if you're interested in it, we can try and get one to replace the Keurig, the free one. So that way you can make your own iced coffees at home, as opposed to buying the Dunkins, which are about $2.50 to $3. Well, they're closer to $3 a bottle. And, I'm going through five to seven of them every week, one a night. And, that kind of adds up really quick. That's what, $15, $20 I was spending on those Dunkin' coffees every week. And he's like, well, then you can use any kind of coffee you want, and you can make as many iced coffees that you want. You can use your own creamer and, 0-calorie sugar, and, kind of make your own flavors and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's an idea. So we happened to be at Target, and the one Target we were at, they had the Keurig K-Slim Plus Iced brand or model. That was a Target exclusive. It's kind of a smoky blue color. And they had them listed as is. They had stickers on them that said as is, and they were $90. The K-Slim Plus Iced used to be $130, but they were on clearance as is for $90. So we talked about it, and then the next night we went back and bought one. And ever since, I have been making iced coffee. So we have these double wall tumblers. My husband's been using these double wall tumblers for a couple of years. The only bummer thing is if they fall on the floor, the inside, these are the inside wall part, the seal will break at the top here, and then they basically become unusable. But my husband's been going through these a little bit like water, but not really. So we had a 4-pack. I dug one out, and I've been making my own iced coffees. This one, I've been using Bones coffee. I have a lot of Bones Coffee Company flavored coffees that I've been using to make my iced coffee. This one is called Jacked O-Lantern. It's a pumpkin spice coffee. And I have some Italian sweet cream creamer in it to sweeten it up just a little bit, and some half and half. And then I added some pumpkin spice Jordan Skinny Syrup, 0 sugar coffee flavoring to it to also sweeten it up. I love the Jordan Skinny Syrups. Unfortunately, I used to buy mine at TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls, and Home Buys, but the Home Buys near us closed down, and TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods no longer carry the Jordan's Skinny Syrups brand of flavorings for their coffees anymore, which is really sad because you used to be able to get them anywhere from $3 to $5 a bottle. Online on this Skinny Syrups website, they're $8 to $12 a bottle. So you were able to get them like half price at TJ Maxx, Home Goods, and Marshalls and whatnot. But they no longer carry that brand, which kind of makes me sad because that's where I was getting them. So I'm going to have to find another source for my Skinny Syrups. My Jordan Skinny Syrups, because I really like that brand, and I think I'm going to stick with it. I might have to resort to paying, up to $8 or $9 a bottle. I know you can get them on Amazon, but they're still $8, $9, $15, $16, $20 a bottle, depending on the flavors that you're getting. And I kind of like some of the, the holiday flavors. I'm really into all the pumpkins. They have a maple donut that's really good. They have a gingerbread latte that's really good. I like a lot of the holiday scents and the bakery type scents, or flavors rather, not scents. Um, I'm not big into like caramel. Caramel isn't necessarily my thing. Mocha is not really my thing. I like white chocolate, cinnamon roll, stuff like that, like the bakery kind of flavors. Um, Caramels don't do it for me, but anyway, this is a pumpkin bones, jack-o'-lantern, pumpkin spice coffee with a little bit of the Jordan Skinny Syrups pumpkin pie or pumpkin spice syrup in it, and some Italian sweet cream creamer. But I've been finding I really, really like these, and they're a lot less sugar than the Dunkin' Donuts because I'm using basically zero sugar creamer and regular sugar Italian sweet cream. I will say that the zero sugar Italian sweet cream creamer is absolutely nasty. It has a really bad aftertaste, the zero sugar one, really bad. So we had a bottle of it that I was going to try with this, and my husband's been using the regular sugar Italian sweet cream creamer. That's his favorite. And yeah, that zero sugar Italian sweet cream creamer is disgusting. It has the worst aftertaste. I wasn't sure initially, the first two iced coffees I made with it, if it was the coffee that I used, or maybe I just made the coffee too strong, or I don't know. But no, it's the creamer, because I've switched over to the regular sugar Italian sweet cream creamer. No nasty aftertaste, and I'm really enjoying my iced coffee. So this is a homebrew iced coffee using my Keurig Slim Plus Iced machine. We did find out last night, we went to BJ's Wholesale Club. It's kind of like a Costco. We have membership to it. And we were at a new one that opened up north of town in Lewis Center last night just to see what they had. And they had the Keurig Slim Plus Iced machine there in a different color for $79. So we did overpay about $10 for a machine, but oh well. Anyway, but I'm really, really liking the Keurig Slim Plus Iced machine, making iced coffees using Keurig and using just any kind of coffee. It's really good. So that is thing, the iced coffees in the Keurig, the new Keurig. And the new thing is, we play board games with a couple of friends of ours every other week or so. We go back and forth between our house and their house so we can play games with Mom. And when we go over to their house, typically in the evening when we're getting ready to leave, they're making their overnight oatmeal for the next day for work, because we're usually over there on Wednesday nights. And so I've been kind of inquiring about making overnight oats. I have been seeing Facebook ads for that overnight oat company that has the different flavor packets that you can get. And I've been really looking at those, but they're like $2.50, $3 a packet. And I'm like, well, they have some really good flavors. I really like banana. So banana is one of my favorites. But our friend was like, well, instead of paying money for this, all you need, here's how I make our overnight oats. He uses like a third a cup of yogurt, 2/3 cup of some sort of liquid, whether it be almond milk, creamer, half and half, whipped, heavy whipping cream, whatever. So 2/3 cup of liquid. He adds some dash of flavoring, whether it be like maple syrup or vanilla extract. He usually uses pumpkin pie spice because it has like cinnamon and nutmeg and all that stuff in it already. And then he'll add other toppings into a half a cup of oats. He uses just regular oats. I have quick cook oats and they seem to be working just fine. But half a cup of oats, and then he'll cut up fruit into it. He sometimes uses dried fruit. He uses bananas, whatever. He puts a little chia seed or flax seed in it to kind of help thicken it up, and puts it in the refrigerator overnight. And they take it to work the next day. And I've been kind of thinking about overnight oats for several months now, just as something that I could take to work and then just sit there in the mornings and eat, and have it a little more healthier than eating like breakfast bars or, going to get a breakfast sandwich, just stuff like that. More filling, more protein and whatnot. So, sometime a couple weeks ago, I was at Big Lots and I had purchased those Premier Protein shakes, the 30-gram protein shakes that you can buy. They had a couple of different flavors that looked really interesting, and they had a banana cream flavor. The bottles were $2.80 a piece, but they're the Premier Protein shake bottles, the ones, the single serving shake things. So I had two of the banana cream ones on hand. And I have this little Tupperware tumbler that fits quite a lot of stuff in it. You can put salad mix in it. The top has a little container, so you can put like dressings and whatnot in the top. So I dug one of those out. We had some oats. I had a container of Yoplait yogurt, just one of those little Yoplait yogurts, and the banana protein shake. And I had some bananas on hand that were pretty ripe. And I made my first overnight oats this week on Sunday night for Monday morning. You guys, that stuff is amazing. Because I like the banana oatmeal packets from Quaker that you can get. And, I usually eat one packet of that. And, it's pretty good hot. I like it hot. But there's a lot of sugar in that because, it's store-bought and whatnot. But doing it this way. So the funny thing is I took some of the oats on Monday, heated it up in the microwave at work, took a couple of tastes of it, and it tasted pretty good hot. So I was like, okay. So I was walking back to my desk, got back to my desk, still had some in the container cold. So I took a couple bites of the cold, took another bite or two of the hot, and I was like, you know what? I actually kind of like it better cold. So I dumped the hot stuff back in the cold stuff, mixed it back up, and ate it. And I am really into overnight oats. So I've picked up a couple of another flavor of protein shakes today. I got a different brand. So the banana one that I was using was the Premier Protein shakes, and I'm using I got a new flavor from Ensure protein shakes. It's the max protein ones with 30 grams of protein. The Premier Protein has 30 grams of protein in it, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing protein shake overnight oats instead of just regular milk, to get extra protein and whatnot in my diet for the new year. And so I got cherry cheesecake protein shake. So it's Ensure Max Protein Cherry Cheesecake. I got some dried cherries. I'm going to do that. The oats that I had this week were basically banana oatmeal. Bananas and oatmeal in the banana shake with a little bit of brown sugar, a splash of vanilla, some cinnamon. I have Pampered Chef seasoning bottles, the Cinnamon Plus seasoning from Pampered Chef. I have a couple of bottles of that in my cupboard that's been sitting there for a few years. I'm trying to use that up because I have at least 2 bottles of it. So I've been using that in there. And I've been chopping up to a whole banana in there. I added mini chocolate chips and also slivered almonds that I toasted on the stove to it for a little crunch and a little chew. Oh my God. I am so in love with these overnight oats. So today at the store, I got cherry cheesecake protein shake. I got some dried cherries that I'm going to cut up and use in there. I'm going to add some banana and some chocolate chips. So Mom and I are going to enjoy cherry cheesecake with bananas and chocolate overnight oats this week. So I'm looking forward to trying a new thing. I also kind of want to get into maybe trying some peach. So if you have any overnight oat recipes that you may have tried that you think are really good, leave me a comment below. I also have like cafe latte protein shakes that have caffeine in them. Give me a shout. I know there's also recipes that you can find out there that use the protein shakes to make ice cream. So I'd also be interested in that. So anyway, that's my new thing. Iced coffee using my Keurig, and overnight oats. Those are the two main things that I've been into most recently so far this year. So there you have it. All right. I am actually going to go ahead and do my 2023 wrap up for you right here, right now. So 2023 was a pretty interesting stitching year. I did quite a few stitches. I had quite a few stitches. I had quite a few finishes. I worked on quite a few projects and also had quite a few new starts. So I will actually get into the numbers here. If you're not interested in my 2023 numbers, I encourage you to skip forward and listen in for my January numbers if you're so interested in that. So for 2023, I had worked on WIPGO, and in 2023, I didn't do so good on my WIPGO board. This is my 2023 planner. Here is my WIPGO board for 2023. So you see all those boxes with the white borders or the white backgrounds? Those are all the boxes I did not complete on my WIPGO for 2023. So you see on my board, I only have one bingo for the entire year. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Only one bingo on WIPGO for 2023. I ended up not completing much of my WIPGO goals, just because things got sidetracked. Just life happened, and stitchy bugs got flown away, and it just happened. So, a couple of numbers for you. So in 2023, I stitched a total of 31,457 stitches. 31,457 stitches. I have my notes. Here for my video today. In 2023, I actually stitched on 34 projects. So those 31,457 stitches were spread unevenly amongst 34 projects. I had 39 projects slated to be worked on in 2023, but I only put in stitches on 34 of those 39 projects. I have somewhere in upwards at the beginning of my whip parade, I think I told you exactly how many whips I had coming into 2023 or 2024 rather. And it was somewhere in the low 80s. So I only stitched on 39 of the 80 some projects that I had going in 2023. Of those 34 projects that I worked on, I had 10 finishes, and I added 12 new starts. So I had 10 finishes and 12 new starts. So the best stitching month for 2023 that I had was in January. I stitched on 14 projects in January 2023 for 3,853 stitches. My lowest month in 2023 was April. I only worked on 2 projects in April for a total of 1,518 stitches. So I have the project that I most stitched on in 2023 was Stained Glass Hello Kitty. You've probably seen it. It's the Stained Glass Hello Kitty Sanrio collage that I'm working on. That was a restart for me back in March on my birthday. I had started it in 2022 and then decided that instead of doing full crosses on the 32 count easy count fabric over whim, I was going to be doing 10 stitch. So I just went back and pulled all the stitches out, and on my birthday this last March, I restarted it on the same fabric. So I put 3,729 stitches in on Stained Glass Hello Kitty for 2023. And the least amount of stitches that I put in on any project was the Satsuma Street 4 Elements stitch along that came out last year. That was the one that was released in 4 parts. It's the water, fire, earth, and air project. I only put in 103 stitches in on that. That was one of the new starts that I had. So those were my numbers. It was I think it was a pretty good stitching year. 30,000 stitches in a year. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't have. This was the first year that I actually have the total that I know is pretty correct. I don't have 2022 or 2021 numbers to kind of compare that with. So when I finally get to that, it might be a couple of months before I even get to that to make sure that the numbers are correct. I might come back and just say, hey, by the way, here's how I compared the last 3 years or so. All right. So that was my numbers for 2023. Hopefully you got some pretty good insight into that. So in January, beginning of January, I did my whip parade. And as you can see in the 3 whip parades segments, that I have quite a few whips going on, and I'm going to be adding some more. So January wrap up. January was actually a pretty busy stitching year. I had a lot going on. We started a new WIPGO. In the magazine monthly cross stitch group, January is always the month where we play Bingo. Bingo is a lot like WIPGO. You create a bingo board, and each day for the first 25 days of the month, a bingo square number is called, and you stitch on that project for 100 stitches. There's your goal, 100 stitches or more. You can make the goal more, or you can make a goal less, depending on what you have. But you have 25 projects on your bingo board. And because it's in January, it's called Bingo, because January is typically cold. So in January, this is January. Yes. Okay. So in January, this is my Bingo board for January. As you can see, there's 2 squares that are not filled in. They were for the same project, the Year in the Woods Bald Eagle. I did not get to stitch the Year in the Woods Bald Eagle towards the end of the month. So I was 2 squares away from having a blackout in Bingo. Now there's some prize categories out there. I have 18 bingos on my sheet. I would have had 20 had 25. 24. Anyway, I would have had bingos, more bingos, and a blackout on my sheet. But there are prizes that will be given out. There's a couple of prizes that are available for the people that participated in Bingo. I did much better in Bingo this year than I have in the past. I don't remember if 2020, I don't remember when the first Bingo happened, but this is probably the best board for Bingo that I have. So that is the best. And the projects that I worked on in January I worked on 12 projects. All 12 of those projects are because of, and mainly only because of Bingo. I participated in several other challenge groups in January, but the main reason for working on 12 projects is because of Bingo. The magazine monthly challenge group acrostic was To Grandmother's House, and the acrostic was, or the theme was To Grandmother's House. The acrostic was sleigh. I picked Amid Amish Life for the Grandmother's House because, Amish and grandparents, typically the grandparents live with the families. So To Grandmother's House, I picked Amish Life for 100 stitches. My goals on the sheet changed throughout the month because I realized that having too many too many different projects on here, randomly selected. I was going to make them more correlate to my goals on Baringo. So I changed all the goals in here to 100 stitches to match them with Baringo. And you'll see down here too for IG and age, my projects changed. So I actually did do that. So the only one I didn't make on the acrostic was the I for sleigh. And I was going to do in the woods bald eagle, which was the last project on my Baringo board. Pop Culture Stitching Challenges is another Facebook group I participated in. Their acrostic for January was Friends. I did all but 3. I didn't do the R, I, or E. I did part of the E, but not the entire thing. And I didn't have any projects for Friends. The 24 Hours of Cross Stitch acrostic for January was called Healthy Habits. And as you can see, I have quite a few of them stitched or checked off. And there's several of them on here that I did not do. So that is the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch. So those were a couple of the Facebook challenge groups that I've participated in. A couple of the challenge groups that I'm also in is Survival of the Stitch Village, Magical Stitches, Magic Stitchdom, and I was in Myth and Magic Stitch Wars until this last round. I backed out of this last round just to give myself a little more time, a little breathing room. And in Myth and Magic Stitch Wars this time, they are going to be playing the game on Discord as opposed to playing it in Facebook. They tried it in Discord a couple months ago in 2023, and it seemed to work better for them, but they went back to Facebook because not a lot of people were participating because we were all used to the Facebook interface. And they've decided since that they're going back to Discord. So if you're in Myth and Magic Stitch Wars, round 3, I think, or 4, either 3 or 4, is coming up in March, I do believe. And they're playing it on Discord. I joined the Discord server for Myth and Magic Stitch Wars. I don't know yet if I will be participating. If I do participate in Myth and Magic Stitch Wars, it's just going to be as a villager, so I can participate when I can and not have to worry about contributing to a group. Because most of the groups in there, if you're on a team, they ask that you participate a lot. And I'm more of the type of person I can stitch. I'm just going to stitch, maybe 100 stitches a night and not every night during a week. And that's not really helpful to participating in the group. I also am in Survival of the Stitch Village. If you know Suki, the brown-eyed stitcher, I believe she's on our team. Also, Alara the Stitcher, they're both here on YouTube. She is one of the leaders of our team in Survival of the Stitch Village. So I've been doing stuff with that. So that is all good. So like I said, in January, I had stitched on 12 projects, mainly because of Baringo. The most project I stitched on was a new start. So the project I stitched on the most was a new start. I'm also doing the Just Cross Stitch Ornament Sal group, the JCS Orny Sal 2024 group. They are taking the Just Cross Stitch 2023 ornament issue, and they have picked 12 ornaments out, one for each month. And the whole purpose is to start and finish or at least work on the selected ornaments for the month out of the 2023 ornament issue. So you have the 2023 ornament issue. The one for January, the cross stitch ornament for January. All right, well, where is it? It's not there. Let's put this over here. Was Polar Night Sighting, this one right here. Yep, this one right here, Polar Night Sighting. So I am doing this on a piece of 22 count white hardhanger. And this is all I got to for stitching in January. So the house, one of the houses goes right here. Santa's sleigh comes across here. And this is the Aurora Borealis. So this is where I got to on that. In January, this was the project that I had the most stitching on. And it was a new start. I started this. I don't have the start date, but the day I started it and through the month, I worked 712 stitches on that. The least amount of stitching I put in was on Stained Glass Hello Kitty. That was again for Baringo. So the February piece for the Just Cross Stitch Arnie Sal group is this piece right here, this red snowflake. I have decided that I am not going to do that. We have the option to pick a wildcard issue out of any of the Just Cross Stitch Christmas issue magazines. Oh. And the one that I'm going to be doing is by Teresa Wentzler. It's not that one. And I can't show you, I don't have a color picture of the piece, but I can show you the thing. I have it printed out, but it is the Celtic Cross. So it is a Teresa Wentzler pattern. No, it's by Ink Circles, not Teresa Wentzler. It is the Celtic Cross right there. It's out of the Just Cross Stitch 2012 ornament issue. This is going to be a new start for February for me. I haven't started it yet because I haven't started working on it, but I am doing this on a piece of 32 count opalescent Belfast, 32 count opalescent Belfast. You can see the shimmery. It's just a opalescent Belfast. I think it's a cream Belfast. White, it's white opalescent. I'm sorry. White opalescent. I am going to get out my project board because I did bring it down. Forgot to do it. So anyway, this is the piece of white opalescent fabric that I will be doing the Celtic Cross on. I'm going to be doing it in the called for flosses. So we have the greens. And these are all Gentle Art sampler threads. So we have the greens. Yep. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to doing it. I have had this on my radar to stitch since I got my copy of the ornament issue. I have the full collection. I don't know if they've come out with another DVD set, but I have the full collection of Just Cross Stitch back issues. I got these off of Amazon. They're DVDs and they have all the issues from all of these years. So I have 1983 when the magazine first started all the way to 2015. But I have all of them. These include the ornament issues that they started coming out with. I think back in 96 is when they started publishing the separate ornament issue. But I have all the back issues for this. All right, so I am going to stop right there because I realize that I'm not really following my my notes for you. So let me get this kind of set off to the side, and I will get it because that was some of the plans for February that Just Cross Stitch ornament sale, and I was going through the January numbers. But this was the project that I worked on the most. This is Polar Night Sighting. It was a new start for the Just Cross Stitch Ornicell group. And any of these groups I mentioned, I will put the links to them below so you can join if you're interested. All right. That's going to fall. Put that over here for now. All right. So in January, I also had 3 new starts. I had the Polar Night Sighting. The next new start that I had was Liberty Bowl Fillers. This is out of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. This was the 2018 summer issue. And I believe this is Barbara Anna. Yep, this is Barbara Anna. The Liberty Bowl Fillers. This was a new start. I'm stitching this on a piece of 22 count fabric that I dyed myself using Rit dye. And that's where I got. I'm working on the cat. So if you look here, I'm working on the cat. So that was my new start. One of my 3 new starts for 2023. Sort of get this back in here. Oops. I'll just do that. And then my 3rd new start sorry about that. My 3rd new start was Reswap by Stitching with the Housewives. So, where is it? This one here. So, the one that I am doing, you can't really see it really well, but it's this one with the tulips right here. So, Reswap, right there. So, Reswap is a set of pieces where you stitch the letters H and E, and all the O's have different wreaths for the different months of the year. So I'm doing the March wreath, which is the one with the tulips. I started that this month. I'm doing this on a piece of 28 count casual linen, black, using the called for Classic Colorworks floss. And I'm stitching at 1/1 full cross. And I'm stitching all of them on the black fabric. 1/1 full cross. You see, there we go. You can see it. So it's the tulips. Right there. There we go. Looks better farther away than it does up close. You can see the colors a little bit better. So that is what I am stitching on for this. I'm hoping to get March done in this month, and then start working on them. I'm hoping to get most of them done. I am not stitching the white H, M, and E letters on this. I am only doing the O pieces because I have a sign, and I have H, M, and E letters that I'm going to be painting. But I have two signs, one that I can put this way and one that I can put long ways, that I'm going to magnetize all the letters on them so I can move them around any way I wish, and just kind of make them that. And doing it 28 count over one stitch is going to make the O's each 2.5 by 2.5. So I got 3-inch letters for the other letters, so it's going to look really nice. You know, it's going to look really nice hanging up on the wall with the O's as 2.5 by 2.5. So that is the third start for January that I had. All right, so hi friends, I'm coming in with a little bit of a split and break in the video. I was uploading and editing the video, and I realized that I think I wanted to do the remaining kind of progress parade of the pieces that I worked on, the projects that I worked on in January. So you'll have to bear with me. I'm going to go through the projects that I haven't yet shown you for January that I worked on during part of WIPGO, and kind of give you the general gist of some of the progress that I made on the pieces. So for WIPGO and WIPGO and whatnot. WIPGO, the only piece that I had for WIPGO for the 2 squares was the polar night sighting. As I told you, it was a new start that I started January 1st, and I did show you the progress. So all the stitching on polar night sighting that I showed you was everything that I stitched on it in January. There was about 700 stitches or so I put into that. So the next piece that I worked on in January as part of WIPGO was Erica Michael's Scary Berry. And this is the Scary Berry. This is the Silk Berry collection. This is stitched on 40 count silk gauze. And let me dig out my project board. I'll probably be hearing my husband's alarm. He's taking a little bit of a nap, and he set an alarm to wake himself up. So, this is Scary Berry, and it has loosened up, so you will see that. It has loosened up. So this is Scary Berry. So where I worked on this, so you will see that there is some fill-in in the surrounding the tree here. There's some green fill-in surrounding the tree over here. And it's basically all the green in this area that fills in up to the ghost on the porch. That is the green area that I filled in on this during WIPGO. Now, initially on this piece, what I was going to do was I was going to stitch this thing all the way across as opposed to making it into a berry. The more I stitch on this, though, the more I think I'm just going to make it into a berry going forward. So there's extra stitching that I did down here that I'm just going to sew through when I go to make the berry, assuming that that it's not going to make it too bulky, so it'll stand out. Now with the silk gauze pieces, the easiest way to make silk gauze able to go in a frame like this is to take a piece of muslin. And what I did was I took this piece of muslin and I used my sewing machine and I sewed the silk gauze onto the muslin using my sewing machine, and I used a zigzag stitch and a straight stitch. That's also basically the 2 stitches on a basic sewing machine you can use to fake serge the edges of your fabric. So this is just a zigzag stitch followed by a straight stitch on top. I stitched the silk gauze onto the muslin, then I flipped the muslin over and I cut out the opening just inside the machine stitches to make the stitching area on the silk gauze. And this allows me to take the the stitched piece and put it in a hoop, and I can stretch the hoop out and make it taut. I can make it taut and tight, and it makes it easier to stitch on the 40 count silk gauze. So really the only thing that I have to finish up doing on this is I think all the tombstones are finally done, and all I have to do is stitch the background and down in here. I don't think I have actually very much stitching left on this, to be totally honest with you. So this could actually get a finish this year. So that is Erica Michael's Scary Berry. And I want to say this one only got 146 tent stitches. This one only got 146 tent stitches. The next one that I had is Santa of the Forest by Lavender and Lace. I have this on one of my scroll frames. So here is the Santa. And the area that I focused stitching on the most is right here in the beard. I did some of the stitching here, and I did this section right here as well. So my whole goal on this is to get basically the whole stitching done. I have an owl that I need to stitch over here. His red hood comes up and over, and then his face and his hair and the rest of his beard come up. But that's quite a bit washed out. The lighting in here isn't good for all of this. You're not going to be able to see. There you go. There's a little bit better detail in his beard. You can see the fluffiness of the beard. But I have quite a bit of stitching left to do on this. I had thought maybe I could get a finish on this year, but I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to. But his face in here, I'm going to be stitching over one. His lip right here is stitched over one, so I'm going to be doing his face over one as well, because that's usually what I do. But there is my Santa of the Forest. And my Santa of the Forest, I got about 206, 210 stitches in it, give or take. So that was my Santa of the Forest. The next one was Liberty Bowl Filler, which I showed you. I got work done on the cat. That was a new start. So whatever work I did on the cat on that was what I had done. And that one I had about 220 stitches, give or take. The next one that I had that I worked on was Saltwater Scrapbook. This is the collaboration piece between Lindy Stitches and the Blue Flower. You've probably seen this. It came in a set like this, and you could opt to stitch it all in one piece. This is how I'm stitching it, all in one piece, just like that. And this is on a piece of 40 count Fabrics by Stephanie linen. This is the called for fabric. And the fabric is called Silver Mist. This was a piece that I had started in September of 2021. And this one I only had 103 stitches in. But where I did the 103 stitches was here in the boat. It was stitched on the boat. Whoops. Sorry about that, you guys. I stitched on the boat. And I am stitching this 1/2 full cross on the 40 count. It's coming coming along pretty nicely, I think. I'm enjoying this piece a lot. I'm hoping that this gets more stitching time in 2023. But I'm using the called for Weeks Dye Works and DMC flosses for it. And this is in the forget who made the project bag, but I got the project bag kit from Lindy Stitches when I ordered the kit. So I got the fabric and the Weeks Dye Works and the project bag along with the patterns when I ordered it back in I believe it was 2021. So that is Saltwater Scrapbook. And I am hoping that this gets more airtime in 2024 because I'd like to see more of this done. Then the next piece I worked on in for Baringo was Pandemic. Now I don't have Pandemic down here with me because it is such a large piece. I do have a picture so I can show you where I was. So this is where I ended up with on Pandemic. Sorry about the glare. There we go. So where I had worked on was over here in these flowers, here and here. Yep. So it was this flower and this flower that I worked on. I have a long way to go on Pandemic. I have it's a piece of, I believe it is even weave. I think it's 32 count even weave. It might be 28 count even weave that I personally hand dyed myself using, I think, some Rit dye. It's a huge piece of fabric. And I'm using it, I'm doing 1 strand over 2 using Sulky 12 weight floss. The color is in Merlot. The name of the color is Merlot. So it's really pretty 12 weight color. I have spools, big spools of the Sulky floss for that. So that is Pandemic, and that is where I got to, where I stitched. The next piece was a piece I haven't worked on in a little while. This one is Fantasy Triptych by Teresa Wentzler. Fantasy Triptych. This one I only put in 105 stitches for January. So I have pretty much the whole entire gold border done. You see that? I have the entire gold border done. But where I was concentrating stitching on was, whoops, sorry about that, you guys. Oops. Well, this is just not working out. Let me go ahead and do it this way. So where I was concentrating the stitching on for January was in here at the greens. So all this confetti stitching here in the green trees under the castle, that's where I was working on. So it was all in the greens. So this was kind of a restarted piece way back when. I had, so I tell you, man, this camera like pausing and freezing is kind of annoying. But anyway, I was saying that I had taken Fantasy Triptych with me to a convention, the first go around that I was working on it. And I had finished the entire outline during that whole weekend at the convention. And come to find out, I only had about a ½ inch to maybe an inch total margin all the way around the piece. And I was disheartened to put it away for a little bit. probably for like a year or two, took it back out to work on it again because I had forgotten. And I contacted my local needle workshop here in Columbus at the time, crossed my heart, and told them what my problem was. And I took it in, and they looked at it, and they sided with me because I also had most of the maidens panel stitched, as well as the entire border. And they found out that, you know, my fabric wasn't big enough. So they worked with me, and they made me a deal and cut me a new piece of fabric, which is this one here. It's a cream linen of some count. I can't remember. I want to say it's 28, but it might be 32 count. Antique white or cream linen of some sort. But they made me a deal. They charged me half price for the fabric, the new piece of fabric, and I started working on it again. So as you can see, I did the entire border. I don't know exactly when I restarted this. And if you know anything about Teresa Wentzler's pieces, so this is the schematic on the inside of the thing. All the green highlighted things are all the blended flosses. Teresa Wentzler is very known for her kind of rather difficult and very blend heavy patterns. But all of the green here is all blended floss colors. She's got a lot of blended floss colors. This is the original chart that I had, paper chart. I've since made working copies of it, but Teresa Wentzler is very well known for her blends, and there's a lot of them. So if you're ever going to stitch a Teresa Wentzler, be prepared, because they're known for their blends. It's crazy, insane, the amount of blends this lady has. So when I first initially kitted this up, you know, I was actively using floss bags. When I say there's a lot of blends, see all of these? These are all the blends in this pattern. Look at all these. I can't even begin to count. So when I kitted this up, initially I had a ring, a floss ring like this with all the colors. And then I had this floss ring with all the blends. Yeah, I went through and made blends of each of them. So this floss ring has nothing but the blended threads for this piece. It's scary. So she's been a long time whip. I don't know if this is the longest or the oldest whip that I have, but it's pretty close. The Santa of the Forest is also pretty close to being one of the longest whips, the oldest whips that I have. But anyway, so there is that. All right, so that is Fantasy Triptych. Then I worked on Re-Swap and Bald Eagle. Then the next one I have is Stained Glass Hello Kitty. So I am working on getting the stair-stepping down for Stained Glass Hello Kitty. So where I worked at on this one was down here in this square, down here along the border. So my next location is going to be way up here. But this is Gangudon. So I am working on stair-stepping this again, because I've gotten away from it for a while because I was just going to do each motif. But it's kind of hard to show each motif as you're working on it. Tent. But this is all tent. And this is 32 count, easy count fabric. But yeah, this is where I worked on this square right there. Sorry about that, you guys. That square right there. So for Stained Glass Hello Kitty, I only put in 110. All right. Then I worked on Sing a Sampler series, Do Re Mi. Most of these all fabric project bags are Garan Toten Bags project bags. See? They're Garan Toten Bags project bags. I've purchased a couple of them. I've won a couple of them. I used to be in their Grime Guard of the Month. This just happens to be one of their Grime Guards as well. I believe. Maybe not. This might have been one I purchased, but I don't remember. So, Sing a Sampler series, Do Re Mi. I think I worked on this twice, so I put in just over 200 stitches on this. Yes. So I put in just over 200 some stitches on this, and where I focused on was this little bird right here. This is where I stitched most. I am doing this on a piece of cream or beige linen using the called for flosses. I was selling this stitch. I had a stitch along going on with Kelly Green of Don't Run with Scissors. Kelly Green, yeah, Kelly Green, Don't Run with Scissors. Her and I were working on this together last year, and she has since finished hers. I started mine before she started hers, but she has since finished hers. She was doing hers in a colorway, in a bright colorway that she found somewhere. And had I seen that colorway before I started mine, I might have switched over, but I'm going to leave it like this. I think it's turning out just fine. You're not going to be able to see it too much, but my name is here in the grass. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. My name is here in the grass. This is Tina. So this year I'm hoping to get this square finished and then move over to these last two, and then I've got the other first two. So this comes in 4 parts. Part 2 is done. Part 3 is more than halfway done. And then I'm going to do part 4 over here, and part 1. Part 1 goes over here on this end. So this is Sing a Sampler series, Do Re Mi. And it resides in my Garan Poinsettia bag. The whole reason why I put this in the Christmas bag is because I started the Sing a Sampler series in, I believe it was 2021. It was either 2020 or 2021 when The Sound of Music was airing on television during the Christmas holiday season that year. The Sound of Music is my most favorite musical movie thing ever. When I was growing up, my grandma and my grandma lived in Wyoming. My grandma and I'd spend summers and a lot of winters with my grandmother and grandparents in Wyoming. And she used to craft. She was a crafter, like heavily into crafts. And she is where I get my love of crafting from. We would watch and or listen to the Sound of Music soundtrack whenever it was on TV. Because back then in like the 70s and 80s, you know, I don't think it was considered a Christmas movie. I think it was just on randomly during the year. But she had the 8-track. So we used to listen to the 8-track tape in her basement and sit and craft afternoons away. So Sing a Sampler, Silver Creek Samplers Sing a Sampler series, Do Re Mi, based on the Do Re Mi song from The Sound of Music. All right, Santa of the Forest, and I believe, oh no, so the last one that I touched that you haven't already seen is Amid Amish Life. And this one is in my super special 2-gallon Ziploc bag. I am doing this from the Cross Stitch and Country Crafts magazine. Do I have the magazine? Oh, no, I do not. Anyway, so here is Amid Amish Life. that is kind of the general gist of the picture for you. That is the first piece, and that's generally the area that I'm working on. So this is the progress that I've made. So most of my stitching on this, the 100 or so stitches that I put in on this, it might have been, how much stitching did I do on this? 100 stitches. I only did 100 stitches on this. It was mostly the white in here in the house, in between these two windows, and some of the greenery on the flower, the window flower box right here. The greenery in here. So it was the white in the house and then the flower greenery. This year, definitely, this house is going to get finished. I'm going to do the brick fireplace as well. And then move down, finish off the scene on this thing. So what I'm doing is I'm taking all three pieces of this and squishing it together in one big piece. So the first panel is only, so if you see here, the first panel is only part of the white house. So it stops, the first part stops right through here. This is into the second panel, but as you can see, I'm squishing it all together into one big piece. So I don't have three separate pieces. So that is how I'm doing that. And I'm going to continue. So all the three pieces that you see up at the top will be one big giant piece stitched all together. And it's not focusing. Sorry about that, you guys. But anyway, I am stitching this out of the magazine. And this is from 1987. This is a 32 count Mercedes Lugana from Picture This Plus. This is a bluish fabric that has a little bit of modeling to it. And you can see kind of up at the top, it almost looks like sky, which is one of the reasons why I picked this fabric to do, is because this is mostly full coverage. Mostly all full coverage. The only thing that's not full coverage is basically the sky. So that is why I picked this fabric for it. But I think it's turning out really neat. All right. So that does it for the pieces that I stitched on for the month of January. So hopefully you've enjoyed the little progress update that I gave you for the pieces, and hopefully you will see more of these pieces later on this year. Hopefully I will get more together than just these, and hopefully that's about all I have for you. So back to the video. And hopefully this didn't add too much extra to it, but we will see you soon. All right, thanks. I had 0 finishes in January. All right, well, that does it for the wrap up for January. I'm actually going to get into a little bit of haul right now. Fine. Where my haul is? Oh, my haul is up here. Ha, ha, ha. It's up here on my table already. It's up here on my desk. Organization. All right, so haul. First thing at haul, if you've watched any of my videos on my channel, you know that Mom and I participate in the Mo's Sale 12 Days of Christmas box. Well, Mo on their Facebook group, the Mo Sale Facebook group, they dye fabric and flosses, and they put the flosses up for grabs on their Facebook page, usually every Saturday. Most every Saturday, is not every Saturday. And they had offered this special dye lot floss for purchase. And this is a silk. It's a color of the month silk for January 2024. They're doing kind of a special color of the month dye where they offer you the opportunity to purchase the color of the month. This is a 120 yard silk ply in the January monthly color. Whoops. And it is a beautiful set of colors. It's got some purple blue, some grayish, brownish, wine, and orange. It's a very beautiful skein of, or hank. It's a hank. A very beautiful hank of 120 yard silk floss. This is the January 2024 color. I'm not sure when Mo is going to put up the February color, but I'm hoping that it's very soon, and I'm probably going to be ordering that too. But this is the January 2024 color of the month. Love it. I love Mosel. I love Mosel flosses. And we get a little candy, a little mint as well. So that is a Mosel floss to go in my stash. All right. Bear with me just a minute. All right. So I'm also involved in Be Stitch Me, the Be Stitch Me Facebook group. And I am in the Neutrals Fabric of the Month for Be Stitch Me. Brandy dyes fabric every month, and I am in the neutral Fabric of the Month. So we got our January Fabric of the Month. This is called Dusty Cottage, and I get the 40 count even weave. Dusty Cottage. It's a beautiful piece. Absolutely beautiful piece. So I will go ahead and hold it up. I get the 40 count even weave. Look how beautiful that is. Beautiful. So that is the January February Fabric of the Month from Be Stitch Me. Oh, goodness gracious. Come on. Packaging is hard. Words are hard, life is hard, everything is hard. There we go. So that is my Fabric of the Month from Be Stitch Me. I have signed up to get the Cottage Garden Fabulous House series. I picked up the first two from Cross My Heart. I'm sure the third one is out. I haven't picked mine up yet, but I have Santa's House and the Castle. I don't know when I'll get started on stitching these, but these were really pretty. You know, I've been working on Cottage Garden A Year in the Woods piece. So there's that. I got a pattern for a new project bag that I'm going to try out. This is the Hemingway pouch. I ordered it from Center Street Quilts on Etsy. The pattern was $10. Essentially, you get some fabric, you cut it, you get some zippers, and you take half of the zipper and sew it, and then you fold the bag over, and then it allows you to close the bag. So I actually purchased this. I have some Hello Kitty fabric and some batting and whatnot that I'm going to be putting together and quilting to make a couple of these bags, because I thought these would make really good project bags. So I'm going to probably be doing this large one in the back, the larger size. I don't know when I'll get to those yet, but I do have fabric and whatnot, so you'll probably be seeing me do this in a future episode. So I am in the Shannon Christine sub group. I subscribe to that group. I pay pay a certain amount of money every month, and in her group, she gives out free designs. So one of the free designs, this is the January 2024 subscriber freebie in her group. This is building a snowman. Look how stinking cute he is. It says, roll snow, find a carrot, wrap in a scarf, add buttons, find eyes, and top with a hat. Very stinking cute. There's also some other designs that she has up on her subscriber group, and I'm going to go ahead and share those with you now. So this first one here is called Candy Ghost. Candy Ghost, isn't he cute? So the stitch count on him is 64 by 57. It's really cute. Candy Ghost. You can get these on the Shannon Christine subscriber group. I will put the link to her main page where you can get information on how to subscribe. You do have to pay a fee every month to stay in the group, but she does give you previews on our special free downloads for upcoming releases of patterns that she has. So here is the release for building a snowman that I just showed you. And then for December, December was this one, Jolly Snow People. The stitch count on this is 127 by 135. Go ahead and zoom in for you. Jolly Snow People, isn't that cute? I love the colors in her patterns. And quite a few people have already finished stitching this. I'm not sure when this will be released to the general public. It might already be up on our website, but we got this for free. So there's that. I also purchased the Kitty and Me Designs Colorful Cats Mystery Cat. This was released, I think, in December. It was documented in December. Let me go ahead and close this out for you. But I can't show you the pattern because it's only the pattern. I don't have a color picture of it. But here's the schematics for the Colorful Cats Mystery. So you can kind of get an idea of what colors are in it. They have 3 parts released right now. I think there's a 4th part coming. I think. I'm not entirely sure, but I think there's a 4th part coming. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There's quite a few people that have actually stitched it. I have not yet stitched it, but the people that I have seen that have stitched it, it is really cute. It's one of their colorful cats. But yeah, it's really cute. So there's that. I also got the, oh, why did that? Oh, okay. Hold on just a minute. I also got the Colorful Cats. Where is it? Did it close? No. Not the Colorful Cats. The Disney, I picked up a Etsy pattern because in fandom stitching, we are doing Disney this year. And for the Disney thing, we are doing, there is a stitch along that they are doing for the heroes and the villains. So we have, this is the heroes, the Disney Heroes piece. I got this from Etsy on L Cross Stitch. So you can see L Cross Stitch, happy day. That is the heroes. And then we have the villains as well. So we have the Disney villains. I actually picked these up as well so I can start this at some point, one of these at some point this year. So this is going to be a planned start for me, but this is some haul that I got, mainly for the Fandom Stitching Facebook group. Okay. So the last little bit, the last thing on my haul list for you is we got the new issue of Just Cross Stitch magazine. If you watch Carolyn Zook on C Zook Stitch, she has done a walkthrough and discussion of the Just Cross Stitch magazine. This is the spring 2024 issue. So there's some new changes with Just Cross Stitch this year, if you're not aware. Just Cross Stitch announced that in 2024 they are changing their format of their magazine. It used to come out every other month. You used to get 6 issues a year, plus the Christmas ornament issue. And they also published a Halloween ornament issue as well. The Halloween ornament issue used to never be included in your subscription to Just Cross Stitch magazine. You used to get the 6 bi-monthly issues and the Christmas ornament issue. You had to buy the Halloween issue separate. In 2024, they are changing the format. They are going to 4 issues a year. So they're going to a quarterly magazine. 4 issues a year. They're going quarterly. Every 3 months. So this is the spring issue. The magazines are going to be a little thicker. There's going to be more patterns in each magazine. But because they're only doing 4 main magazine issues, you will get both the Halloween ornament issue and the Christmas ornament issue with your subscription to Just Cross Stitch. So this is the spring one. This is the spring magazine. They're not changing anything else basically internally, except they're going to 4 magazine subscription, 4 magazine publishes a year, including the Halloween issue and the ornament issue. So you will get 6 issues still every year. It's just you'll get the Halloween special issue and the Christmas ornament special issue. If you watch Seazook Stitch, she does an excellent walkthrough and full kind of full look at the Just Cross Stitch magazines and some of the other magazines that you got. I'm not going to do that walkthrough here for you because she does such a good job at it. I'm going to encourage you to go to her YouTube channel and watch her walkthrough. But I wanted to point out 3 of the patterns in this Just Cross Stitch issue that I'm likely going to add to my future projects list. So this first one is called Jump for Joy. Look at the colors on that, you guys. That is absolutely beautiful. I think those are bluebell flowers coming out of an Easter egg with rabbits, kind of in the shape of a heart. I really like that piece. This is by Ellen Noonan of Stitch Sprout. The other piece that I really like, there's 3 pieces in here. The other piece that I really like is this one, the Quaker Easter egg. This has beads in it. This is by Karen Bowen of KEB Studio Creations. The Quaker Easter egg. I really like that. And then the third piece that I really like, these are basically back to back to back in the magazine. This is called Egg Hunt. This one is by Kate Spiridanova of Cute Embroidery by Kate. And it's basically just a bunnies, egg hunt, and chicks street sign. And it looks like it'd be a really cute, quick finish. You could probably finish this in a week. Looks like it'd be a really cute finish. So those are 3 of the patterns in the spring Just Cross Stitch issue. I did renew my subscription. My subscription was about ready to run out, so I did renew my subscription to Just Cross Stitch. So you will be seeing more of those. Also, the other thing that I need to mention is your subscription of Just Cross Stitch. Like your subscription to Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, allows you to go online and download the PDF version of the Just Cross Stitch magazine. So, not only do I have my nice collection of DVD Just Cross Stitch magazine issues, back issues, I have quite a few of the more recent years. My Cross Stitch magazine collection is quite extensive now. And then we have Char. This is Char. Come here. Quit fighting me. Quit. Quit. This is Char. She wants to say hi. This is Harvey's sister. They're both the same age from the same litter. She's Char because I don't know if you can tell her tail on the end over there has orange tabby on the tail. And we named her Charmander because it looks like she has a fiery tail. So Harvey Dent has Two-Face and Charmander because she has the fiery orange tail. And she's going to get down now and be a good kitty. There we go. Oh, you got to see two of my cats. The other two cats are sleeping soundly on the cat tree next to me. We got a cat tree for the cats, so I can have all four of my cats kind of hanging around me while I work instead of just one or two. All right. So we got the Heroes and Villains pieces and the Just Cross Stitch magazine. I told you about the Just Cross Stitch, and that actually takes care of my haul. So I did my wrap up and all that, and we are going into talked about that. I actually talked about everything so far, and it's a little over an hour long. So that is all the stuff. In January, I had worked on 13. I had worked in 13 groups doing various stitching projects. So I did WIPGO, the Magazine Monthly Challenge, Pop Culture Stitching Challenges, Fandom Stitching, Magical Stitches, Semi-Sane Stitchers, Magic Stitchdom, Daily Cross Stitch, Cross Stitch 25/7, Survival of the Stitch Village, Full Coverage Fanatics, the JCS Ornicel, and Extreme Cross Stitch. So those are the Facebook groups that I participated in January. I had 2 squares from a Baringo blackout, and I have to carry over square 22 in WIPGO. So let me show you actually my WIPGO board because I did not go over that with you as of yet. So in January, the squares in blue, I had a Polar Night Sighting as a new start for square number 9. And for square 22, stitch a project from a magazine, which was also Polar Night Sighting. I had 400 stitches or so to complete for square 22 for the second square from January. So I will be carrying that over until I can finish up the 400 stitches on it. It'll hopefully be this month. So then in February, so going into February plans a little bit, WIPGO Square 3 is a Mill Hill kit or ornament. I have selected Jim Shore Puppy. So my WIPGO squares this year are more prompt-based as opposed to specific projects. So when the squares are called, I will look at the prompt and then figure out what project to put with it. In years past, I have put specific projects on here. Well, the reason why in 2023 I don't think I finished my WIPGO board was because when those numbers were called, I didn't want to work on that specific project. So this kind of leaves it open-ended for me, and I'm hoping that doing this open-ended more format will allow me to keep my stitching bug going and allow me to focus a little bit more on some things. So the squares this month are the ones in pink. It's square number 3, which for me is a Mill Hill kit or ornament. And I am doing Jim Shore Puppy. I will show that to you. And then for square 24, which is the second one that was called, it's a 40 count plus project. And I will be working on A Year in the Woods Bald Eagle because that is I'm stitching that on 40 count Be-Stitch Me fabric. 1/2 full cross. So we have a Jim Shore Puppy for February and Year in the Woods Bald Eagle. I already showed you the Polar Night Sighting. It was the Christmas ornament from the JCS Ornicel group. So those are 3 projects that I'm going to be focusing on. So for the Jim Shore Puppy, this was one that I think I started in 2023. It might have been 2022. I don't think I have my card in here. But anyway, this is the Jim Shore Puppy. He's really stinking cute. And I'm using the called for kit stuff for him. Or not the called for, but I'm using the actual kit stuff. It is a Mill Hill kit, so you get the flosses and fabrics. I don't have a card in here for him. Well, that's just really kind of goofy. I'm going to have to come up with a card for him. And I think, yeah. Get my board out. So this is where I am at. This is going to be my start. So I have the scarf, part of the scarf done. So this is going to be a focus piece for me for January. And I'm using the perforated paper that came in the kit. One of the other things I am going to be trying out with the Mill Hill kits this year and going forward is I picked up these Susan Bates stretcher frames. So these are stretcher bars. So we've got stretcher bars. I have 7-inch and 6-inch stretcher bars. So they make these wood frames. So you put them together and they make these wood frames. Then you get these metal tacks. I don't know where the metal tacks are. There they are. You get these metal tacks. So you have the metal tacks. And you take your perforated paper and you tack it to here. So it creates a frame for your paper. So you can stitch on it and do whatever with them. And it helps protect the edges of your perforated paper projects. So this is a I got 2 6-inch stretcher bars. These are just the regular stretcher bars from the same company to make this. And my perforated paper is generally the same size, but the perforated paper takes up pretty much this whole entire surface. But these are the regular bars, and these are a little thick. And I think I'm going to have to move my piece around to get enough room to stitch my project in the middle of the thing. So they have these thin stretcher bars now. These are called mini stretcher bars that are actually a little thinner. So you can see here, if I hold it up, you can see compared to the other stretcher bars, they're quite a bit thinner than the original stretcher bars that you can get. So I picked up a 7-inch and a 6-inch, hoping that, you know, I could make it 7 inches across or whatever and tack it down and work on it. So I'm going to be trying these out for the first time. I haven't used these stretcher bars with my perforated paper projects, but I'm hoping that it's going to keep them from getting so bent out of shape the more I stitch on them. So I'll be using that for the first time in 2024. That's going to be a new skill that I'm going to be working on for 2024. So that is the Jim Shore puppy for square 3. And then my next project for February is A Year in the Woods, the Bald Eagle. So this is the Bald Eagle by Cottage Garden Samplings. I am doing this on the Be Stitch Me set of fabrics that I purchased from Be Stitch Me. So I have the 4 fabrics. I have the spring, the summer, the fall, and then the winter set of fabrics. These are 40 count, even weave. And I'm starting with the Bald Eagle. Mom helped pick this last July as a new start for me. This is the one that she went with. I am doing all of the Year in the Woods pieces. I'm doing 3 on each piece of fabric for the season. So, and I have this in my Nerge hoop, my large Nerge hoop. So I'm just trying to get this a little more tight. There we go. A little more tight. And you can see this is where I'm starting. So I have the tail done and the tree. And this one, I believe, is called Deep Green. What number is this? This is number 7. Yes, this is called Deep Green, and it's for the summer. Bald Eagle is number 7 in the series, so this is the middle. And then I'm going to put 6 on this side and 8 on this side. So, and this is going to be another focus piece for this month. So Jim Shore Puppy and the Bald Eagle. This is 40 count, so I'm doing it 1/2 full cross. So yay, I'll be able to get up and stitch on that. And my goal on each of these, each of the WIPGO pieces is 500 stitches. My WIPGO goals for any piece I touch this year is 500 stitches. I found that last year. I made that as my stitch goal for WIPGO, and it was a lot easier for me to do than 1,000 stitches a month. I didn't have to stay focused on it nearly as long, and I was thinking, I had the general feeling that I could just get it done a little quicker doing it that way. All right, so for February, not only am I doing WIPGO, but I am doing Stitcho from free creativelycrafting.com, the free cross-stitch challenge group. They post out a Stitcho board every month. This is this month's Stitcho board. You can get it from free cross-stitch challenge group on Facebook. I also purchased the planner, the cross-stitch planner from them, and the 24 hours of cross-stitch, so I can actually print these off early. When you buy the planner from creativelycrafting.com, when you buy their yearly planner, you get every month's Stitcho board and stitch challenge in your planner, so you actually can see ahead with the challenges. So this month's stitch planner is 4,000 stitches. You just mark off each one of those. You get points that you can submit. This month, the prize is a stitching theme mug for your favorite hot beverage. I may actually be doing that because my Making Friends One Stitch at a Time mug has a really nasty chip in it, and I don't know that I can get it replaced. But you get points for the stitching challenges. So you get up to 20 points for the stitching challenges, up to 10 points on the Stitcho board, the Stitch Me bonus. If you stitch the bonus pattern for the month, you get points for that. And then just submit your points, and you can put in for the prize. And the prize is a mug. So the Stitcho board is kind of fun for this. Different prompts that you can hit, and you can actually get as many of these in a day as you can. So you can hit 10 of them. You can hit the whole board in one day if you want. But there's different prompts to hit and different things to do. The middle space this month is a free space, which is why it's marked out. So I'm going to be participating in that. The magazine monthly challenge theme and acrostic for February. The theme is In the Meadow. I have picked a mid-Amish life for that. I am doing the one out of the magazine. The acrostic is snowshoe. I have all but 2 letters picked out for them. And my goals on them, except for a mid-Amish life, my goals on them are 100 stitches each. And you can see here I put in Reswap, the Jim Shore Puppy, Hop On In, which is an Easter piece, and the Bald Eagle, and another one that I'm hoping to finish soon called Sleepy Owls. So I'll be doing that. Pop Culture Stitching Challenge. The acrostic this month is Galentine's Day. There's a lot of letters in here, so you'll be seeing a lot of these. Year in the Woods Bald Eagle, Amid Amish Life, Liberty Bowl Fillers, Stitching with the Housewives Reswap, Amid Amish Life. I don't have all the letters picked out just yet, but I'll be doing the pop culture stitching challenges acrostic. 24 hours of cross stitch. Their acrostic this month is Do What You Love. And again, same thing. I have Jim Shore Puppy on here, Reswap, Hop On In, Bald Eagle, and the Sleepy Owls. And also Bald Eagle down at the bottom. I have not filled out the rest of these letters just yet because I'm not really sure. And I have changed all the goals to these to 100 stitches just to make it a little easier for me to try and get up with that. So this month, couple things, life updates. I am actually going to my local roller derby league's home games this year. I bought a season pass. Last year I couldn't go to a lot of the events because I was out of town at different other events those weekends that they had games. This year they have games on days that I don't have other things going on. Yay! So I actually get to go support my local roller derby league. Next Saturday, February 10th, is their technical home opener, but they're just doing like an intra-league scrimmage amongst themselves. So they're splitting up into teams and scrimmaging each other for the public. So that'll be kind of fun. I haven't seen a lot of these people since last year. If you know, at the end of 2022, I went and helped them with their Skate Mirror Before Christmas thing. And this year I did not do that. They were, it was a closed thing. They weren't doing anything for the public. So I actually did nothing for them this year in 2023. I thought about maybe going back to help them with games and whatnot, but I couldn't commit to their league because I was only going to be able to help them with one game out of their entire season last year. So I couldn't commit to going to any of the scrimmages and whatnot. So I am still retired. I'm still retired status from our roller derby league, but I am supporting them this year. So go Ohio Roller Derby, and hopefully they'll have a good season this year. And I'm looking forward to the games. Next Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday. So Lindy Stitches, and I believe the Blue Flower, and I'm not sure, I think it's just Lindy Stitches and the Blue Flower, Stephanie Webb. They're doing a Superb Owl. So if you get the reference, Superb Owl event next Sunday during the Super Bowl in the evening. So it's from, I believe, 5 to 10, and on Sunday night you can sign up for it. I can't remember, I think it's $30 for the event, but you sign up and they have a virtual event much like the Jingle Ball. I participated in the Jingle Ball this year, so I signed up for the Superb Owl. So Lindy Stitches and I think the Blue Flower, Ginny McGowan, I think is who it is. I think. No, maybe that's not it. Maybe it's not her. But anyway, the Blue Flower and Lindy Stitches, they are having an event next Sunday called the Superb Owl. And yes, it's going to be owl themed. And your entry into that gets you into the event, gets you all the different things going on during the event, and gets you the patterns that both of them are releasing for the event. So I signed up for it because I had fun at the Jingle Ball this year, and I signed up for it. And later on this year, when they do the Jingle Ball again, assuming that it happens again for the third year, I am also going to be getting the general admission ticket to the Jingle Ball this year. I am also hoping to get to Friend Stitch, which is a virtual online kind of stitching retreat weekend. So I'm hoping to do Friend Stitch this year as well. But anyway, so next weekend, next Saturday is the Ohio Roller Derby game. That Sunday, the 11th, is the Super Bowl Sunday, and the Superb Owl, Lindy Stitch's Blue Flower event. Also, my local needlework shop here in Columbus, Cross My Heart, they're having their Super Bowl Sunday sale from like 11 to 3. on Sunday. They're never open Sundays, very rarely, but they're opening on Super Bowl Sunday for their annual sale. So I'll probably be going to that next week. So I took this coming Monday, the 5th, off because I had about 7 to 10 sick or vacation days to take before April 15th. Otherwise, I lose them. So I have quite a few days coming up off in February and March and a little bit in April. So I have this coming Monday, the 5th, off. I have President's Day, the 19th, off. And then we have 2 meetups the last weekend. On Saturday, the 24th, the Dayton Stitchers meetup is happening in Dayton, in the Dayton area at Panera. And then on Sunday, Central Ohio Stitchers, which is a local group kind of set up by Candy Kerr here on the 614 Stitcher here on YouTube. She set up a local Central Ohio group. And we meet on the last Saturday or Sunday of the month at a local library. So that is coming up Sunday the 25th. And then, of course, this month we have an extra stitching day because this year is leap year. So we have the 29th of February. So I'll be participating in that. Also, my husband and I are celebrating our 28th wedding anniversary, February 17th. So 28 years ago on the 17th, my husband and I got married. 28 years. Wow. Wow. It's hard for me to believe that we're over like 22 or 23 years married, but 28. Guys, we're 2 years from 30 years of marriage. Do you believe that? Wow. Yeah, so anyway, we're celebrating our birthday. Not our birthday. We're celebrating our anniversary this month, and I'll be going to a roller derby game, the Superb Owl event, and Super Bowl Sunday sales are going on. And also, the last thing for the month, one of the things I'm also into starting this time of year, not only roller derby, but college softball. So I like college softball. The Women's College World Series happens in the beginning part of June. I kind of follow some of the teams through the season into that. I'm going to be going to Ohio State softball games this year. One of the new things for Ohio State softball, their games used to be free, but this year they're charging for the first time. So you actually have to go online and purchase tickets ahead of time. Tickets are only ranging $6 to $8, so they're pretty inexpensive for college sports games. So I'm hopefully going to be going to a couple of Ohio State home games. I'm not typically an Ohio State fan, but I do kind of follow Ohio State softball. But I have other colleges that are more my thing. I went to the University of Wyoming in Laramie, Wyoming. Go Pokes. So I'm a University of Wyoming fan, if you're going to call me a fan of any college team in particular. But some of the college softball teams I like Oregon State. I like Alabama, Oklahoma, Florida State, UCLA. In high school, UCLA's current coach, Kelly Inouye Perez, she went to my high school, and I played varsity softball in high school with her sister, Kara Inouye, who graduated the same year I did. So Kelly Inouye Perez, who is the coach of UCLA softball, went to my high school. So there is that. So I kind of like UCLA. Oklahoma, Alabama, Oregon, and I think there's one or two other ones that usually I'll kind of root for and kind of watch. Yeah, college softball is coming up starting this next week. There's a lot of tournaments going on, early spring tournaments, invitational tournaments and stuff. And then the season generally kicks off this week and will be going until early June. So I'll be watching and listening to a lot of softball in the next several months, for the last 4 months. So that'll be a lot of fun. So that's really all I have for you. I think I've talked about everything: Stitch-O, pop culture, the acrostics. Just double check. Oh, one of the things I didn't talk about. So in the ornament cell group, I was going to talk to you about this. So in the Just Cross Stitch Ornament cell group, one last thing. I showed you that the February ornament is this red one right here. I was initially going to just do the ornaments that they selected throughout the year for them. I have them printed. You can see I have print-offs. I have print-offs of ornaments in here. Copies, working copies. We have the option of doing a wild card. So we can take any Just Cross Stitch Ornament magazine and do that. So I have decided, instead of doing the called for one, that I will be doing the ink circles, Celtic Cross, this one here. I'm sorry I don't have a color picture of it, but it's in reds, greens, and creams. And it's from the 2012 ornament issue on page 36. So if you're interested in that, you can look up the Just Cross Stitch thing. But I showed you the fabric and floss that I was going to be using for it. And that is my choice for the Just Cross Stitch Orny cell. So besides Amid Amish Life, the Jim Shore Puppy, the Bald Eagle, Reswap, and that I am also going to be working on the Ink Circles Holly Cross ornament and Polar Night sighting. So those are going to be my focus pieces for February. So I have my focus pieces set up. The other thing I kind of wanted to talk to you about as well, I'll do that a little bit later. So you know that in my tracking, I kind of wanted to show you this. In my tracking, I have this clipboard that I keep next to my stitching chair. So I have this clipboard. And on this clipboard, I have this sheet where I write down, it has all the days of the months by quarter. The days highlighted. Let me put this here. The days highlighted are either holidays, holidays or days that I have off. So you can see, like I have Valentine's Day marked on here, different things. I write down, so you can see here, I write down the projects and how many stitches I did on those projects each day. So I keep this next to my stitching chair. This goes pretty much with me everywhere I go. And that way I can transfer this to my tracking sheet in my planner. So not only in my planner, I also have a copy of my WIPGO board, but this is my tracking sheet that shows what projects I stitched on and how many stitches I did on them every month throughout the entire year. So I can calculate how my stitching goes. And that's how I was able to do that with you for 2023 and give you all my numbers for 2023. I was doing that. So the other thing that I was doing from the, then we have Misty. Come here. Come here. Can you come over here? Come on. We have Misty. Everybody say hi to Misty. She's one of our newer young ones. Misty, come here. This is Misty. Hi, Misty. Hi. She is a special little girl. She was found on the side of the road up near Marysville, Ohio, by a lady that lives in our residential area. And she was found. We've had her, it'll be 2 years in May. So she's about 2 years old, give or take. She's 2 years old. She's 2 years old. She was found on the side of the road. Her siblings had already all passed away. And the person that found her waited on the side of the road with her husband in their car. They were on their way home to Columbus, and waited for a little while on the side of the road to see if Mom came by. Mom never came by, so she brought her home. And then she posted in our community's little Facebook group that she was looking for a home. Mom and I went to meet her, and we brought her home. Mom named her Misty, and she's been ours ever since. But yeah, so you've seen 3 of our cats. You've seen Harvey, you've seen Char, and now you've seen Misty. The only one you're not seeing is Mouse, and Mouse is over there. Right, Mouse? Mousey. She's asleep. Mouse is special too. Mouse is a few weeks older than Misty. So Mouse is just almost approaching getting onto her 3rd birthday. But Mouse was caught in a machine as a real little kitten. So her tail is only about this long and has 2 90-degree bends in it. And she's very special. Her left eye, when you're looking at her, this eye is clouded over. And we thought it had a cataract, but we think it's just damage from, getting stuck in machinery. And the vet says it seems to him like she can see out of it, but we think it's clouded. It looks clouded to us, so maybe she can see just fine out of it. But he says, her pupil is acting normal, but it kind of looks like she has a cataract in it. But anyway, Mouse fetches. She's our cat that likes to fetch. And her name is Mouse, M-A-U-S, like the tank, not like M-O-U-S-E. But she likes to fetch. And she'll play fetch all day long. So, and it's really cute because she likes to play fetch mostly with me. It's kind of annoying too because she likes to play fetch mostly with me. I'll be sitting in my stitching chair, trying to get some stitches in at night. And she'll be like, "Fetch, Mom." Right, Misty? But her and Misty get along really well. But yeah, we brought Misty home as a little kitten. Got them both fixed at the same time. So they're kind of growing up together. So we got Mouse, I think, a week or 2 after we picked up Misty. We picked up Mouse. Mouse was my niece and her fiance in West Virginia. They had Mouse as a few feral cats that they were taking care of on their property, and they saved Mouse from whatever machinery she was caught in, and she was muddy and, just tore up really bad, and they took her in. And Dylan fell in love with her because, stumpy tail, and, well, he likes cats with interesting traits, so to speak. So we knew we were going to pick up Mouse, but Mom and I picked up Misty, and we were going to originally pick up Mouse and one of her feral brothers, but when we got Misty instead, we just brought Mouse home. So Mouse and Misty have been getting together and playing together and just loving on each other. It's been really cute. But yeah, so we have our 4 cats. Anyway, I was kind of getting into the planner. So I was telling you about the planner. So I had the tracker that Misty is wonderfully stitching on that I keep next to my chair that lists the project and how many stitches I stitched on. Then I had a tracker also where I had the project, the stitching group, the stitching goal, how many stitches I actually stitched for the goal, and whether or not I posted the finish post for the goal, all the dots next to the challenge group, and the prompt are so I knew that I posted my start picture for that. Yep, Misty's gonna come on. You wanna go there? Come on. Go over there. There you go. Anyway, so as opposed to keeping a separate sheet for my as opposed to keeping the separate sheet and this sheet, and then transferring it over to the weekly planner pages, I am weeding it down. I'm attempting something different. I'm weeding it down. I am actually taking out this sheet. So I will now only have this, and then the weekly planner page. So what I have done for February. If I can find right in front of me. So what I have done for February is I have taken the weekly squares. So you can see Thursday I had no stitching. Friday I had no stitching. Today I have not documented any stitching yet, but I am planning on stitching later tonight. I will be doing my challenge group tracking on here instead. So I have room to put in the prompt. The second line down in each day is going to be for the projects that I choose to stitch on. Then each of these entries, there's 12 on each day. I will be putting in the prompts in the Facebook groups. I will be adding the dot next to the Facebook group when I post the start picture. I will be doing the stitch goal, the numbers of stitches I completed, and then a check mark for when I posted the finish picture. And instead of having this separate sheet as a third sheet, I am just going to the weekly thing. So I added these tracker boxes for all the weeks, all the days, and all the weeks for the month. And again, the colored in days are the days that I have off or that are holidays or special events. Like I have down here, Superb Owl event and the Super Bowl. So that way I know what days I've stitched. So today, when I go back upstairs and take all my stuff and put my stuff away, I am going to be doing the putting in my project and then putting in what challenge groups and stuff I am stitching on. So that is one of the changes that I am making for February for my tracking sheets. So that's going to be an interesting change. I will keep you updated on how I'm getting along with that change in a couple months. But hopefully that is a better change than having to write things a third time on my stuff. So that was a long-winded thing. So I told you this is going to be a little bit long. Hopefully my one in February, I'll hopefully have one for you in another 2 weeks. Although that is our anniversary weekend, so maybe not. I don't know. I may decide to film like little bits and snippets here so I can just string them all together and not have to do such a big video all at once. We shall see how February shapes up, but I have my plans, I have my goals. I was going to show you all of the projects I worked on, but I think that will take a little too much time. Yeah, so anyway, so the projects that I did work on for January, I don't know if I said, the Polar Night Sighting New Start that was started on January 1st. I worked on Erica Michaels' Scary Berry, Santa of the Forest, Liberty Bowl Fillers was a new start on the 11th. Saltwater Scrapbook. I put some stitches into Pandemic, about 200. The Fantasy Triptych by Teresa Wensler. I actually dug that out and put some stitches into that. Year in the Woods Bald Eagle, Stingless Hello Kitty, Sing a Sampler Series Do Re Mi by Silver Creek Samplers. I put some stitches in on that. Amid Amish Life, I did some stitches in on that. Wreath Swap was a new start. Wreath Swap I started on, I think, the 15th of January. And that's pretty much it. So those were generally the pieces that I worked on. So hopefully I will have a good update for you coming up soon. We've got a busy month coming up, busy next couple of months. Hopefully you will keep your stitching bug and hopefully you will have some fun stitching. I will get this video uploaded hopefully tonight, and then I'll have the rest of the time to just sit and stitch and enjoy watching videos and YouTubes and everything like that. The other thing I've been doing a lot of is, instead of watching FlossTube videos on YouTube, I've been watching Disney streams. So I follow quite a few live streamers that stream from Disneyland and Disney World, but mostly Disneyland, because that's where I grew up. I grew up 15 minutes from Disneyland most of my life until I went to college out of state. And so I've been following a lot of streamers that stream Disneyland every day. They go to Disneyland every day and they stream getting on rides and walking around and parades and fireworks and, you know, all that stuff. So I've been watching a lot of that, following a lot of them, mainly because I can keep it on the background, and they stream for 5 or 6 hours at a time. So I can watch them. I can let it play just 5 or 6 hours at a time. Don't have to worry about, you know, every half hour, every hour switching YouTube videos. So, and I do that. I stream them a lot at work because it's a distraction. There's noise going on. There's music. You know, the rides have music. You know, I can listen to some of the shows, the music, the bands, you know, the parades, whatever going on. So I've been doing that. But I'm going to be getting into softball this coming week. Hopefully I'll have some interesting games. Hopefully I'll be able to catch some roller derby, just do some more things, get out of the house a little bit more. Mom and I have a retreat coming up in March and April. Looking forward to that. I'll tell you more about those later. Stitching in the Springs retreat is, there was an announcement made that there are a couple of slots left for Stitching in the Springs. I'm not sure where that whole thing stands, but because of the downsize of the amount of people participating in the March Stitching in the Springs event, we will not be stitching in the ballroom on the main floor this year. We're going to be moving up to one of the smaller conference rooms somewhere else in the hotel. So that'll be a different experience. Mom and I are still staying in room 304, the Mills Park Hotel in Yellow Springs, Ohio, for the Stitching in the Springs retreat. Mom and I will both be there. We are also going to the Spring Stitch-In in Warren, Ohio. If you remember last October, we went to Warren, Ohio for the fall stitch-in up there. We're going back to the spring stitch-in, and that'll be fun. And that's all I have for you this week. So hopefully my next video will be a little quicker, and that's all I have for you. So take care. Keep your head up and keep moving forward. I almost went back to the old one that I was trying to use. And hopefully we will see you sometime soon. Leave your likes, dislikes, comments, and questions below. I will do my best to answer them to the best of my ability. And also, thank you for watching. I hope you found something here in this video that you would like, that will enable you to try something new if you've never tried cross stitch or whatever. So take care. We'll see you soon, and just keep that stitchy flow going. All right, we'll see you soon. All right, bye everybody.